on November 12, 2009, in the outskirts of Harbin City, Heilongjiang Province. The afternoon sky was overcast with thick clouds. A steady rain fell, casting an eerie darkness over the landscape. Despite it being early in the afternoon, thunder rumbled ominously, adding to the unease, making many residents reluctant to step outside, fearing the danger of lightning strikes. Mr. Liu, along with several other locals, was working in an orchard, trying to finish their tasks before the storm worsened. Suddenly, a bolt of lightning tore across the sky, startling everyone. They hurriedly abandoned their tools and ran toward an abandoned public restroom nearby to take shelter. This structure had been deserted for over a year, and its dilapidated condition only heightened the gloomy, eerie atmosphere. A horrifying discovery in the rain. While seeking refuge from the rain, an unusual stench began to emanate from inside the restroom. It was a pungent and ghastly odor, triggering thoughts of something much worse, the smell of death. Curiosity got the better of Mr. Liu, and he cautiously ventured inside to investigate. Upon reaching the third stall, he spotted a large rolling suitcase lying on the floor. The suitcase, old and covered in insects, was clearly the source of the unbearable odor. A sense of dread washed over him, prompting him to call the others over to take a closer look. The group gathered around the suitcase, speculating among themselves. If it's an animal carcass, why would someone put it in a suitcase like this? One person wondered aloud. The suitcase looked suspiciously heavy, arousing even more concern. After some deliberation, they decided to open it. To their horror, inside the suitcase lay the badly decomposed remains of a woman. The gruesome sight terrified them all. The stench of death hit them with full force. Without hesitation, they immediately contacted the authorities. Within 30 minutes, 2 police vehicles arrived at the scene. Rain still pouring heavily, officers quickly cordoned off the area to begin their investigation. Meanwhile, a crowd of curious locals gathered near the scene, whispering and speculating about what had transpired. The gruesome crime scene and mysterious clues. The investigators inspected the black, rolling suitcase in front of them. Although it was not brand new, the degree of wear on the wheels and fabric suggested it wasn't too old. Either, the suitcase bore the logo of Pastu, a low-cost brand popular in China. The suitcase was swarming with insects. Upon opening it, the police discovered the woman's body curled neatly inside. The victim had been severely decomposed. Her skin was peeling away, revealing deep lesions. The body had turned dark brown, with the soft tissues decayed to the point where muscle and rotting internal organs were visible. A preliminary autopsy revealed that the victim had been dead for approximately 2 months. She was dressed in a thin red camisole nightdress, with only underwear beneath. She wore a silver bracelet on her left wrist, a gold ring on her middle finger, and a pearl necklace around her neck. Her shoulder-length hair was dyed a trendy red. Both her fingernails and toenails were carefully manicured, suggesting she was not a manual laborer, but possibly employed in the service or entertainment industry. The forensic team found a contraceptive implant in the victim's body. A dent was discovered on the back of her head, but it was not severe enough to cause death. The cause of death was determined to be mechanical asphyxiation. There were no signs of semen or sexual assault in the suitcase, and the victim's jewelry remained untouched, ruling out robbery as a motive. The circumstances suggested that the murder could have stemmed from personal conflict. A closer inspection of the suitcase revealed a partially used lip balm and an open box of condoms. These items led investigators to theorize that the victim may have had an open sexual lifestyle or was possibly married. The discovery of the contraceptive implant further supported this hypothesis. However, no documents or identification were found with the body, complicating efforts to determine her identity. Based on her clothing and personal items, Police speculated that the victim may have worked at entertainment venues in the city. Unfortunately, the advanced decomposition of the body had obscured any tattoos or identifiable fingerprints, making it difficult to search national databases for a match. Investigators carefully examined both the interior and exterior of the suitcase, but found no suspicious fingerprints. News of the grisly discovery spread quickly, shocking the local community. The abandoned restroom where the body was found had originally been built to serve visitors at a nearby ecotourism site. However, since the site had ceased operations, the restroom was left deserted. Its remote location, with the nearest residential area a kilometer away and no streetlights or surveillance cameras, made it an ideal place to conceal a body. A desperate search for clues. Investigators hypothesized that the killer might be a local resident or someone familiar with the area. The police began interviewing nearby residents, but their initial inquiries yielded little useful information. The next crucial step in the investigation was identifying the victim, which would provide key insights into the motive and potential suspects. Authorities cross-referenced the case with missing person reports from the past 3 months. Their search revealed 6 missing persons, 4 women and 2 men. 2 of the women matched the physical characteristics of the victim found in the suitcase. The first lead involved Zhang A. Quinn, a 23-year-old worker at a leather shoe factory in Harbin. Her family, residing in Jilin province, had reported her missing in late September of that year. According to relatives, Quinn was energetic but impulsive and sometimes enjoyed a lavish lifestyle. Before her disappearance, she had been living with her boyfriend, Deng Chenglin, a co-worker at the factory. Police were especially interested in the fact that Quinn had a sunflower tattoo on her chest, similar to the one found on the decomposed body, though the tattoo on the victim had faded due to decomposition. The second case involved Lu Lei, a 28-year-old woman who was estranged from her husband. Both were confirmed by relatives to have engaged in extramarital affairs. Li worked as a cashier at a supermarket, but in mid-September, she abruptly quit her job and lost contact with her family. A critical detail that caught the investigators' attention was that Lu Lei also had a contraceptive implant, matching the forensic evidence from the unidentified victim. Police quickly contacted the families of both women to assist in identifying the body. However, after further investigation, Zhang A. Quinn was confirmed to be alive. Quinn and her boyfriend had become involved in a pyramid scheme, which had forced them into debt and cut off contact with their families during intensive training sessions. Eventually, Quinn was released under the condition that she recruit relatives into the scheme. With Quinn's case closed, investigators turned their full attention to Lu Lei. Her family described her as the breadwinner, with a stable job for years. Her sudden resignation and disappearance left her loved ones deeply concerned. Police collected DNA samples from Lu Lei's family to compare with the body in the suitcase. However, the DNA analysis confirmed that the victim was not Lu Lei. This unexpected result left the investigators puzzled, as the promising leads had suddenly hit a dead end, with no missing person reports matching the victim. The initial theory that the woman was a local began to fall apart. To speed up identification, the police issued a public appeal through the media, asking for the public's help. Despite significant outreach efforts, the victim's identity remained a mystery, turning the case into a topic of public speculation and mounting pressure on the authorities. A friend's unexpected report, the victim's identity revealed. 2 weeks after the body was discovered, police received a critical tip from a woman named Wang Zhenmao. Wang reported knowing a young woman named Lu Fangyan, 23, who came from a rural village in Dongshan County, Heilongjiang Province. Fangyan had worked at a foot massage parlor just 7 kilometers from where the suitcase was found. Fangyan was reportedly content with her job, earning a stable income. However, on September 11th, she stopped showing up for work without notifying anyone. Her friend, Wang Zhenmao tried to contact Fang Yan's boyfriend, Wang Shihuang, but he stated that they had broken up the night before, on September 10th, and claimed he had not heard from her since. Zhenmao grew increasingly concerned about Fang Yan's disappearance. She vividly remembered the tattoo of two intertwined birds on Fang Yan's chest, as she had accompanied her to the tattoo parlor to get it done. When Zhenmao heard about the unidentified woman found in the suitcase, she became anxious and reported her concerns to the police. Police quickly followed up by contacting Fang Yan's former colleagues in Dongshan County. Her family confirmed that she had moved to the city a few years earlier with her boyfriend, Wang Shihuang. According to her parents, Mr. and Mrs. Liu, Fang Yan rarely kept in touch. They had reached out to Wang Shihuang when they grew concerned about their daughter, but he assured them she was doing well with a new boyfriend and was active on social media. When police questioned Zhenmao about Fang Yan's social media habits, she insisted that Fang Yan only used one account, which had been inactive for several days. Zhenmao was unsure if Fang Yan had created any additional accounts. The police tried to reach Wang Shihuang using the phone number provided by Fang Yan's family, only to discover that the number had been disconnected. They then tracked down his new phone number through his family. When they reached him, the police did not disclose their identity and simply mentioned Fang Yan's name. Upon hearing it, Shihuang abruptly hung up the call. This suspicious reaction raised serious red flags. Investigators immediately launched a deeper inquiry into Wang Shihuang's relationship with Fang Yan. They learned that the couple had previously lived in a rented room before moving into a nearby house. Zhenmao, Fang Yan's close friend, had visited both locations on several occasions. When officers visited the house Wang Shihuang had rented, the landlord confirmed that he had moved out without leaving a forwarding address. His former employer, a beverage company, also reported that he had resigned. Wang's family mentioned that he was still believed to be in Harbin but had no information on his exact whereabouts. As police continued to investigate, they uncovered a significant lead. Fang Yan had been involved with a wealthy man named Liu Yikai while still maintaining a relationship with Wang Shihuang. This complicated relationship caused tensions between Fang Yan and Shihuang, with much of the conflict stemming from Fang Yan's actions. The police now suspected that jealousy might have motivated Shihuang to kill Fang Yan. On November 30th, the investigation took a significant turn when police received a tip. Wang Shihuang's bank card had been used at a shopping mall. Through surveillance footage, they confirmed that the person using the card was indeed Huang. Using nearby security cameras, investigators tracked his movements to a narrow alley, just 200 meters from the mall. They suspected Huang was renting a room in the area and quickly organized a team to surround the location. Within 30 minutes, police apprehended Huang, who was visibly panicked. His attempt to flee upon seeing the officers only deepened their suspicions about his involvement in the murder. On the way to the station, Huang made a shocking confession. He admitted to killing Liu Fang Yan. Terrified and desperate, he begged for leniency in exchange for cooperating fully with the investigation. The tragic love story, from romance to ruin. At the police station, Huang recounted the details of his relationship with Fang Yan and the events leading to the crime. Both Huang and Fang Yan were born and raised in Dongshan County, Heilongjiang Province, a poor, mountainous region. While Fang Yan had the opportunity to finish high school, Huang had to leave school after middle school to earn a living. The two met through mutual friends in 2006 and quickly fell in love. When they turned 21, they decided to move to Harbin to build a new life. At first, they rented separate rooms, but by mid-2008, financial difficulties forced them to move in together to save on expenses. In Huang's eyes, Fang Yan had once been a kind and thoughtful woman who gave him a sense of peace and love. But everything changed after they moved to the city. Fang Yan quickly adapted to the urban lifestyle. The simple girl from the countryside began dressing more fashionably, enjoyed hanging out with friends, and spent her free time at cafes and bars. Meanwhile, Huang juggled jobs as a porter and delivery driver to make ends meet, while Fang Yin worked in a clothing factory. However, she soon lost interest in her job, became irresponsible, and was eventually fired. After losing her job, Fang Yin asked Huang for money to enroll in a nail technician course. However, she dropped out halfway, claiming the trade didn't suit her. Shortly after, she found work at a foot massage parlor, a job that Huang fiercely opposed. Despite his objections, Fang Yin followed her own path, causing frequent arguments between them. After a brief breakup due to their escalating conflicts, Huang couldn't let go of Fang Yin and begged her to reconcile. Reluctantly accepting her job at the massage parlor, they resumed living together, with Fang Yin taking control of their finances. She gave Huang only a small allowance for personal expenses, sending most of their money to support her family. Tensions between them worsened when Huang's mother was hospitalized, and he asked Fang Yin for money to help his family. She refused outright. Huang grew resentful, arguing that if she could send money to her family, she should do the same for his. Out of fairness, Fang Yin dismissed the idea, further deepening their rift. Their sexual relationship also became a major source of tension. Huang preferred using condoms for contraception, but Fang Yin insisted on unprotected intercourse, saying she wanted to feel things naturally. Huang offered to introduce her to his family and even proposed marriage, hoping it would solidify their relationship. However, Fang Yin hesitated, saying she wasn't ready for commitment. Eventually, she decided to have a contraceptive implant inserted to avoid using condoms altogether. Fang Yin was open about her sexual preferences and frequently watched adult films to learn new techniques, encouraging Huang to try them with her. At first, Huang complied, wanting to please her, but he soon began to feel overwhelmed and exhausted. He was uncomfortable with Fang Yin's increasing assertiveness in their intimate life, but went along with it to maintain peace. The final straw came when Huang discovered that Fang Yin had been secretly recording their intimate moments. She used the videos to critique his performance, pointing out his shortcomings and comparing him to adult film actors. This deeply wounded Huang, making him feel humiliated and devalued. Despite his emotional distress, Fang Yin continued to push him to improve and meet her expectations of the ideal man. Fang Yin pushed Huang to rent a private house, arguing that their previous shared lodging lacked privacy and that noise from their intimate moments could disturb the neighbors. Although Huang felt uncomfortable with the idea, he agreed to rent a small house to avoid the embarrassment of communal living. However, Fang Yin's need for control did not stop at choosing their living space. She sought to dominate all aspects of Huang's life, criticizing his performance in bed and demanding he change his lifestyle and mindset to align with the modern lifestyle she embraced. Public humiliation, the last straw. The tension between them escalated during a house party they hosted. Fang Yin's close friend, Wang Zhenmao, attended the party with her boyfriend. During the drinking session, Zhenmao openly suggested that Huang should learn from her boyfriend on how to better satisfy a partner. She added that Fang Yin had frequently complained to her about Huang's shortcomings. What shattered Huang's pride was Fang Yin revealing that she had shown Zhenmao intimate videos of their encounters. She mocked Huang as being boring and inadequate, prompting Zhenmao to offer advice on what Huang could improve to please Fang Yin. In front of another man, Huang felt humiliated and emasculated. Although Zhenmao's boyfriend tried not to express any judgment, Huang still sensed ridicule in his gaze. Huang kept in touch with Zhenmao via social media. One day, Zhenmao sent him a message, again suggesting that he should learn to please Fang Yin better. These interactions left Huang feeling deeply insulted, as though he was losing all autonomy in the relationship. When Huang confronted Fang Yin about why she had exposed their private life to others, she calmly responded that her intention was to help him improve their sexual relationship. Desperately seeking clarity, Huang asked her, "Do you love me?" Or am I just a tool to satisfy your sexual needs and give you money? Fang Yin responded that she had always loved him, but admitted that her desires were somewhat unconventional. She pleaded for his understanding, insisting that sexuality was an essential part of human nature. Her gentle tone momentarily softened Huang's anger. In an attempt to regain some sense of control, Huang set a condition. They needed to reduce the frequency of their intimate encounters. He explained that his physically demanding work left him exhausted, and he could not meet her insatiable needs every night. At first, Fang Yin reluctantly agreed to reduce their intimacy to once a week. While Huang felt relieved, Fang Yin grew visibly frustrated. On days without intimacy, she became cold and distant, treating Huang as though he were invisible in their shared home. Over time, Fang Yin started staying out late, sometimes not returning home at all. Initially, Huang felt grateful for the peace, but as her absences became more frequent, he grew suspicious. He feared she might be seeing someone else. Desperate to save their relationship, Huang tried to change himself to meet Fang Yin's expectations. However, his efforts went unacknowledged, and she continued to show indifference toward him. One day, Huang caught a glimpse of a text message on Fang Yin's phone from an unknown man. The message was intimate, suggesting a close relationship. The worst blow came when he read a part where Fang Yin praised the other man, saying he was strong and capable. Huang felt crushed by the betrayal. Instead of confronting her immediately, he decided to quietly reach out to the man and arrange a meeting. The man was Lu Yikai, a wealthy businessman in the fashion industry. During their meeting, Yikai brazenly admitted that he intended to win Fang Yin over completely, making her his. He even mocked Huang, ridiculing him for being weak and suggesting that Fang Yin's decision to seek a new partner was inevitable. This encounter left Huang feeling deeply humiliated. Not only had Fang Yin betrayed him, but she had also shared their private matters with Yikai, turning him into a laughingstock. His sense of self-worth, already fragile from the toxic relationship, was now shattered beyond repair. Huang no longer wanted to salvage the relationship. Instead, rage and resentment began to consume him. All he could think about was unleashing the storm of anger that had been building within him. The last breath on a fateful night. On the night of September 10th, 2009, Huang came home exhausted after a long day of heavy lifting. All he wanted was to sleep and recharge. But just as he was drifting off, Fang Yin shook him awake and demanded that they have sex. Too tired to comply, Huang pretended not to hear, hoping she would leave him alone. However, Fang Yin's frustration boiled over. She slapped him hard across the face and berated him, calling him a failure, both as a breadwinner and as a man. Huang tried to suppress the years of pent-up anger. He bit his tongue and refrained from reacting, hoping the argument would end. But Fang Yin continued her relentless barrage of harsh words, pushing him further toward the edge. Finally, Huang snapped. He told her bluntly that although he wasn't highly educated, he was proud to be an honest laborer who had never betrayed his conscience. If she no longer loved him and wanted to be with Lu Yikai, she was free to leave. Huang told her that letting her go would feel like a release. Instead of showing remorse, Fang Yin coldly admitted that she had wanted to break up for a long time but hadn't yet found the right moment to say it. She expressed no regret over ending their relationship. Huang's words had been spoken in anger, but he never expected Fang Yin to act on them so quickly. She calmly stood up, packed her clothes into a suitcase, and prepared to leave. Huang demanded that she return half of their shared savings, knowing full well that he had contributed most of the money. However, Fang Yin claimed she had spent it all on items and supplements for his benefit. Not believing her, Huang grabbed the suitcase and tore it open, searching desperately for any hidden cash. Finding nothing, his frustration grew. Just as Fang Yin opened the door to leave, Huang lost control and yanked her by the hair to stop her. Fang Yin fought back fiercely, slapping Huang hard across the face, twice. The sting of her blows, combined with the emotional pain and humiliation he had endured for so long, pushed him over the brink. Rage and heartbreak boiled over in a torrent he could no longer contain. Huang lunged at Fang Yin, wrapping his hands around her neck and squeezing with all his strength. She fought desperately, clawing at his arms with her long nails and kicking him hard in the groin. But her resistance only fueled his fury. In a blind rage, he tightened his grip, slamming her head repeatedly against the wall. When Huang finally came back to his senses, Fang Yin lay motionless on the floor. Her body was still, her breath gone. Stunned and horrified, Huang sat silently next to her lifeless form for 2 hours, overwhelmed by the gravity of what he had done. He debated whether to turn himself in or hide the evidence of his crime. In the end, Huang convinced himself that he had not intended to kill her. He placed the blame on Fang Yin, believing that her actions and words had driven him to this breaking point. Convinced that it was not truly murder but an accident born of unbearable provocation, Huang decided to cover up the crime. He carefully wiped the blood from her head, wrapped her body in a large suitcase, and transported it on his motorbike to an abandoned public restroom on the outskirts of the city, a place he knew well from passing by frequently. After disposing of Fang Yan's body, Huang returned home and meticulously cleaned the bloodstains from the walls. Remarkably, he slept soundly that night, as if nothing had happened. He remained in the rental house until the end of the month, carefully avoiding suspicion. To mislead others, Huang used Fang Yan's phone to send himself a message, pretending that she had initiated the breakup and no longer wished to stay in contact. Huang avoided returning to his hometown, fearing questions about Fang Yan's whereabouts might expose the truth. Instead, he started a new job in a different location, determined to live quietly and avoid attention, until the police investigation finally caught up with him. Huang's confession devastated both his family and Fang Yan's. To those around him, Huang had always been seen as a kind, responsible young man who deeply loved his girlfriend. Even Fang Yan's parents had never heard her complain about him. On the contrary, Huang had treated her family with great care, often checking in on her parents' health and advising them to take care of themselves. Her family had considered Huang as good as a son-in-law. Although they recognized that Fang Yin had changed after moving to the city, they had always hoped that Huang's patience and sincerity would help her settle down and provide her with stability. Fang Yan's close friend, Wang Zhenmao, told police that Fang Yin had often shown her secretly recorded videos of their intimate moments. Zhenmao revealed that Fang Yin frequently criticized and compared Huang to others, sharing these videos not only with her but also with her boyfriend. Fang Yan's goal was to push Huang to meet her demanding sexual expectations, but Zhenmao admitted she did not agree with Fang Yan's behavior, especially her involvement with Liu Yikai. Zhenmao had advised Fang Yin to choose between the two men: either break up with Huang and pursue a relationship with Yikai, or cut ties with Yikai and commit fully to Huang. However, Fang Yin dismissed this advice, insisting that her beauty gave her the right to explore and make her own choices. Zhenmao confirmed to the police that Fang Yin never truly loved Huang. For her, Huang was simply a means of financial support and physical gratification. She spent most of Huang's earnings on shopping and maintaining her appearance, while neglecting him emotionally. Colleagues at the massage parlor also reported that Fang Yin was not serious about her job, instead using flattery to attract wealthy customers. The verdict and controversy in court. At his trial, Wang Shihuang was sentenced to 25 years in prison for the intentional murder of Fang Yin and the subsequent disposal of her body. Huang did not appeal the sentence and expressed deep remorse, apologizing to Fang Yan's family before being escorted to prison. He also apologized to his own relatives, acknowledging the pain his actions had caused and expressing regret for his crime. The trial attracted a large public audience, and the 25-year sentence sparked mixed reactions. Some supported the decision, believing that Huang deserved to pay the price for taking another person's life. However, others felt the sentence was not entirely fair, arguing that the toxic relationship and Fang Yan's selfish behavior had driven Huang to commit the crime in a moment of uncontrollable rage. The case became a powerful warning about the consequences of a relationship lacking respect and understanding. While sex is an essential part of life, it cannot serve as the sole foundation of a healthy relationship. Ultimately, sincerity, empathy, and mutual respect are crucial for lasting happiness. Fang Yan had a chance at a better future, but her selfishness and pursuit of personal gratification blinded her to the genuine love Huang once had for her. Instead of appreciating what she had, she continuously pressured and exploited Huang, driving him into a corner. On the other hand, Huang allowed his emotional pain and anger to overpower his reason, leading to an irreversible crime. Although he was once a kind and dedicated man, his loss of control in a moment of rage cost him his freedom, ultimately, his life as he had known it. What do you think about this case? Feel free to leave your comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe to the Decoder Box channel to stay updated on fascinating crime stories from around the world. Goodbye and see you in the next video.